宗主教 Your Excellency 车代办 Monsignor 申龙，杨校长 Professor 杨，诸位弟兄姐妹，诸位神父修女，诸位同学，神学院的恩人，今天下午。我们有一位总主教要为我们做很好的见证。阮文顺总主教是宗座正义与和平委员会的副主席，就是从1994年。开始接受了教宗的给他的这个职务。那今天下午他的演讲，他并不会讲很多有关正义和平的理论，他会比较分享，实际上我们怎么样建立一个和平的世界。阮总主教他曾经很多次来过台湾，是1974年前，那个时候他已经当主教，所以他也来台湾开过几次会，我上来过7、8次。1974年以后就没有来，因为1975年他就被关起来，开始坐牢。所以他今天要跟我们分享的大部分是从那个1975年以后的事情。那我不必再详细的介绍，因为他的演讲里面就有很多会帮助我们多了解他的资料。今天我们也非常高兴，我们校长来了，是第一次正式的到我们神学院来。我们杨校长一直很支持神学院，也希望神学院多在我们的学校里面发生作用，所以我们很感谢他的来临。车代办呢也是常常关心我们，所以乐意的参与我们的活动，所以今天我们也特别高兴他在我们中间。So now I will invite Archbishop Nguyễn Văn Thuận to give us his lecture. And after the lecture, we will have some time for questions and discussion.
Very Reverend Monsignor Chargé d'Affaires, Professor, Rector of the University, Reverend Father, Dean of the Faculty, my dear fathers, brothers, sisters, and my friends, it is for me a privilege to come here to be with you, because I always keep in my heart since long time the friendship with my friend Chinese, and mostly the unforgettable figures of some of them, like Cardinal Van Thuận, with whom I was the last time here in 1994 for the first assembly of the Bishops of Asia. I have been many times before in Taiwan, and since 1971. And my professor is also Archbishop Stanislav in university. He has been my professor. And also to pay a tribute of gratitude to many Jesuits who have been professors for our clergy in Vietnam, in the Pontifical College of St. Pius X. And some of them already are in heaven, as Father the late and all the fathers. I keep always in my heart and a hymn and a cry of Cardinal Van Thuận when we had the assembly. He told us in the assembly, don't forget your brothers and sisters, more than 1 billion of them in the mainland. And this is a continual prayer for me in my heart, even in prison. Don't forget your brothers and sisters in mainland who suffer liberty and for their faith, for their fidelity to the church. Today, I thank you for welcoming me and giving me this opportunity. I try to make myself understood, and I will make only a summary because it is too long. And I would not like to abuse of your patience and your time. It is hot now. Was in jail, in captivity during 13 years and 3 months. I was bishop since 29 years, more than 29. So I belong to the Old Testament. And when I was already 8 years bishop in the diocese, my first diocese of Nha Trang, the center of Vietnam, and then 1 week only before Saigon collapsed, the Holy Father Paul VI appointed me as Archbishop Coadjutor of Saigon. 1 week later, when the communists came, he told me the appointment of a bishop in Saigon, the biggest diocese of Vietnam, 1 week before we arrived, means it is a conspiracy of the Vatican and imperialists to put there a young bishop so that he can organize further the struggle against communism. I was for that in prison for 13.5 years. And I was moved in 16 different places, from south to center and to north, until close to the border of China. You know about the cause of my imprisonment, and you will ask me, how did I manage to overcome the difficulties of this time of imprisonment? Because during 13 years, I have 9 years of isolation from treasury and isolation, alone with 2 guys. Nearly I was mad, crazy, because I'm alone in a vacuum. I have nothing to do. There is time I was obliged to work in the field, but it is all right because I have friends. I can talk with them. But 9 years alone, always with 2 guards, it's crazy. I move one day in the morning, 10 minutes to receive something to eat, and at 9 o'clock and evening at 4 o'clock to receive something to eat. Exclude that, I have nothing to do here. So, if I am tempted to lie on my bed, after 2 weeks, everything is coming. Because we eat one day, vegetables cooked in salt and water and rice. And if we lie on the bed, we will have immediately arthritis and lost the peace. What should I do? First thing I must do is to live the present moment to the fullest. Why? Because when I was arrested, it was the day of Assumption 1975. I was called to the presidential palace and arrested in the presidential palace. It is funny. Go to the presidential palace and arrested. Because if he arrested me outside, fear and manifestation of the Facebook. I remember immediately the first one of the situation of Archbishop John I. You remember that our witness of the faith who was in prison in China for 12 years. When he was released, he came back to New York, and when he arrived at the airport, many newsmen came to ask him, what about your prison? He said, I am too tired, but I can tell you one thing. I wept half of my life and waiting for my liberation. It is the same sentiment I experienced. So my first resolution is I don't wait anymore. If I wait, maybe sometime nothing happened. And only one thing happened, I will die. For instance, if I wait until I can return to my diocese, since that time I never returned to my diocese. 21 years, I never returned to my diocese. So I will live the present moment to the fullest. My first resolution. Live the present moment to the fullest. Live in unity every minute with God, in unity with my brothers and sisters. Every minute. I think to make a line, a straight line, you need many points. Thousands of points. So, if I would like to make a good life, I must live thousands and millions of minutes according to the will of God, with love. And I must do something every minute, as I can do. What I did, the first thing I did was how to be in contact with my faithful. Because already the first time I was brought 400 kilometers far away from my faithful. 400 kilometers. So I was tormented every night. How can I do to be in contact with my faithful? And one night, a light came to my brain. It is simple. You have to do like St. Paul. When he can do something for his faithful, he was in jail, he wrote letters to his faithful. And so I must write something for them. I begin to write my book. I begin to write my book. Because I was in house arrest. The children can camp. The police outside. In the morning, I called a child and told him, go tell your mother, go to the market, buy for me the old block of calendar. In the evening, the child bring for me the old block of calendar. And every night, I wrote behind the sheets of calendar something. And it became my book, The Road of God. And now this book is printed in 8 languages. And today I am glad to present to you the Chinese version of that. And I profit of this occasion to thank many brothers and Father Wu for collaboration on the translation into Chinese. Because I would like to have some gift to my friend. You are my friend, and I must keep in mind, never forget 1 million friends, brothers and sisters. I must do something. I present this Chinese version. Secondly, I have another anxiety. This time I was 47. And such 47, and after 7 years as bishop, I have some experience of pastoral. And now I am in jail. I can do nothing. I become old. I can do nothing. No more family. I lost my diocese. I lost all my pastoral work. I can visit my diocese. I can build up churches, schools. I can stay and train the faithful, seminarians, and the youth. What I can do? Is the work of God. But one night, I realized all these pastoral work are good, but they are work of God, but no God. No God. Work of God, but no God. Sono opera di Dio, ma non sono Dio. If God would like me to abandon all my activities in His hand, I must give it to Him. He can find somebody to do it better than myself. And I must choose what is His will. And His will now is I must be in captivity. His will that my presence in captivity. When they brought me during the night and put me in the bottom of a boat with 1,500 other prisoners and brought us to North Vietnam, I said to myself, it is here my diocese, and this boat is better than my cathedral because it will up. And I can share with all people now, even the no-Christian people, I can share their life, their difficulties, their pains, and it is the will of God. I must choose the God and not the work of God. My third conviction is I will hold firmly to one secret prayer. Right. Somebody told me after I was released, oh, Father, you have time for prayer. It's not so easy when you are always hungry. When they call you for interrogatory morning and evening. Sometimes 1 month, 1 month and a half, 2 months, every day you lost your nerves. It affects immediately the nervosity. I can pray. And I have opportunity to realize all my weakness, the weakness physically and mentally. I can concentrate my spirit to pray. I'm so tired. What would I do to pray? To pray. I remember a man called Mr. Jim. He is very poor, and every day he go to the church 2 minutes at noon. And the sacristan asked him, Jim, what are you doing in the church at noon? I came to pray, God. But what prayer do you say? I am stupid. I don't know any prayer. I came to see God. But what do you pray? And Mr. Jim said, I said, Jesus, here, Jim. And I get up. Years after, Mr. Jim became old. And he went to hospital. And in hospital, he changed the atmosphere of the hospital. When he was nearly died, the chaplain and the sister, nurse, came and asked him, why you change the atmosphere of the hospital? Everybody now is joyful. They accept the injection, the operation, the surgery easily. And Mr. G told the sister and the chaplain, I have no secret. I came to see them, I talked to them, and I am always glad and happy because I have a visitor every day. But we never have seen your visitor? I have. He came to see me every day at noon. When I entered the hospital, I asked you two shares. One for you, the chaplain and the sister, when you came, and one reserved for my visitor. But who is your visitor? Jesus. He came at noon, because now I can go to see him, so he came to see me. And what does he tell you? He told me, Jim, hear Jesus. As I told him, Jesus, hear Jim, and now he came to see me, and he told me, Jim, hear Jesus. I remember this little story. When I suffer too much, I can pray, and I said, Jesus, hear Francis. My name, Francis. And it seemed to me that Jesus told me, Francis, hear Jesus. And it is my very simple mind. Sometimes I remember, yes, I have stomach disease. You need medicine, I need medicine every day, every morning. Is it your medicine? Yes, so you can keep it. I am very glad, and I begin to say Mass every night. Every night. Only three drops of wine in my hand, and 1 drop of wine. And we arrange so that in my group of 50, there are 6 Catholics with me. Everybody in a bed, and after consecration, in obscurity, I give them communion. And then we keep that, and in a recent sect of paper, we distribute to each group of prisoners, and they keep one of the group keep it in his pocket. His written bag, nylon in his pocket. So in the whole prison, in the whole camp of concentration, we have the presence of Jesus. Many were converted. The Catholics were converted, and there are many fundamentalist Buddhists converted. Because we have the presence of Jesus. My 5th conviction, I will have only one wisdom, the science of the cross. You can read it, I pass. Because I would not be too long. The 6th, I will remain faithful to my mission in the church and for the church as a witness of Jesus Christ. The sense of the union to the church, to the Holy Father, is my strength. Because we are always in solidarity, in union with the whole church. As St. Peter, when he was in jail, the whole church prayed for him. I will seek the peace and the world cannot give. There is something special I would like to tell you. I will speak one language, I wear one uniform charity. It is one of the main things I experienced in my prison. In the prison, the first thing, very difficult, is hate. I was alone. They sent 2 young officers to stay with me. They don't speak to me. They said yes or no. they avoid speaking. So I am always isolated. But I think, what I can do for them? What may I give them? I am poor. I have nothing to give them. But there is something I am still rich. The love of Jesus Christ in my heart. I can give it to them. I begin to talk with them. Their curiosity, and afterwards they came and asked me to teach them what I know about French, English, and so on. They become my alumni, and slowly they become my friend. And they told me, we were trained that you are a reactionary, you are an agent of the CIA. And if you know our name, the address of our family, when you will be liberated, you send your man, your agent, to kill our family. So we fear that tremendously. But now that you are with us, you teach us, we fear that we are friends. One thing for them difficult to understand is forgiveness. How can we pardon our enemies? And many times they ask me, do you love us? I said, yes, I love you. I stayed with you so long time. And you can understand that. They said it is difficult to understand that somebody can forgive, can pardon his enemies. And we ill-treat you. You are in prison for so long time without trials, without sentence. You remain in prison. And in 13 years, you have been transferred in 16 different places. And you have never a visit from your family, from your relatives. All the prisoners have a visit every month, and you never. I told them, I continue to love you. But why do you love us? Because Christ taught me to love you. And if I don't love you, I'm no more worthy to be called a Christian. I forget everything. I love you. And slowly, they understand the love, the Christian love. And I can tell you a little story about my cross. I was in prison. I must saw the wood. And I asked one of my guards, please allow me to cut a piece of wood in the form of a cross. Oh, it is very, very dangerous, because it is forbidden to have any sign of religion in prison. But now we are friends. Let me do. No. It is dangerous for you and for me. I will be in prison like you. Now, we are friends. Close your eyes. Let me do. I will hide it. He went away. Let me alone So I cut the wood in the form of the cross and hide it in soap. Piece of soap hide always, because the chief control our affairs always, to see if we have something, if we wrote something. And until I was liberated, and this piece of wood become my cross, a pectoral cross. The piece, the black piece here is the wood I bring from my prison. And in another prison close to Hanoi, I told my God, I need something. What you like? I need a piece of electric wire. And he told me, oh, we were told in the University of the Security that a prisoner who has a piece of electric wire will suicide. I said, no, the priest don't suicide. The bishop don't suicide. I must live until my liberation and to work again. And then, but what can you do with a piece of electric wire? I would like to make a chain to wear my cross. But how can you make a chain with electric wire? I said, please, I would like to borrow to speak, little speak. And I will show you how we can make it. He dared, but at the end, he told me, because we are friends, I will bring you a piece of electric wire tomorrow, 7 o'clock. And you and me must finish it from 7 to 11. And I will let my companion go Hanoi by night. And I will stay along with you. We must finish before 11, because if he can, maybe he denounce. We will be punished. He brought me, and we cut electric wire in pieces like matches. And with 2 pincers, we make in 4 hours this chain. This chain is electric wire. And so everywhere I bring this chain of electric wire and this cross, both made in prison with me. It is not a souvenir, but it is a conviction that only with Christian love we can change the heart. Change the heart. Always in unity with Jesus, we change the heart. When first I met the Holy Father, when I arrived in Rome, he saw that. And he asked me to tell him the story. I told the Holy Father story, and he gave me a silver cross and a chain. And smiling, he told me, but mine is so precious as yours. And you know, now you think that many people said the study of Latin is very difficult. But the communists have a group of 20 boys and girls, and they invite a former religious to teach them Latin, so that they may control the documents and the cables of the Holy See sent to the bishop. Sometimes because they become my alumni, and they brought me the cable. You can read it, we understand. The telegram to the Cardinal of Hanoi, but I was in prison, I read it before him. because my friend showed me him. And one of them, once, he is my guide, and he asked me, may I ask you to teach me a Latin song? I said, there's many songs in Latin, but I don't know, what do you prefer? And I sing for his choice. Ave Maria Stella, and so on. And Salve Mater Misericordiae. Afterward, you know what song did he choose? He chose the Veni Creator. He chose the Veni Creator. I wrote the whole verses, the 7 verses of Veni Creator for him, and he learned it by memory. And something very moving for me every morning. So, because he slept in front of my room, and every morning he must go down for physical exercise and washing, and I heard him going down, and I saw him making gymnastical exercise. Veni Creator Spiritus, until the end, when he washed himself with the water, and Deo Patris Gloria Filio Motus. It is very moving that a communist God sing for me every day the Veni Creator. But the friendship in the Christian love can change his heart. And every morning he sing the Veni Creator for me. And a second hymn in Vietnamese for the martyrs and communists sing for me every morning a hymn of the martyrs. I must resume. When I am so sick, weak, sometimes desperate, tempted, what should I do? I look spiritually to Jesus, abandoned and crucified. Jesus abandoned and crucified. On the cross, Jesus can walk, can speak, he can teach the people, he can make miracles, he can heal the people. He is in an absolute immobility. In the eyes of the world, the human spirit, Jesus is frustrated. His life is unuseful. He can do nothing. He will die. But in the light of the faith on the cross, when Jesus is in an absolute immobility, Jesus offered himself for the redemption of mankind. And so when Jesus is frustrated in the cross, he did the greatest action of his life, because he redeemed us all with his sacrifice, his unique mercy. And I must thank the Holy Virgin Mary, because when I was arrested the day of the feast of Our Lady, the Ascension, 75. And when I was in prison, I asked the Holy Virgin Mother, if you know that I will no more useful, I will be no more useful to the church, please give me the grace to die in prison. May I achieve my sacrifice in prison. But if you know that I can continue to work for the church, to serve the church, give me a sign, so I may leave the prison a day of your feast. And in 88, when I am cooking my lunch, I cook myself. My lunch, it is the 21 November. I hear the phone of my guards. I said to myself, maybe it is a phone for me, because today is the 21st of November. It is the feast of the presentation of Mary. Maybe for me. 5 minutes later, my guards came to see me and told me, Mr. Thuận, did you finish your lunch? No, not yet cooked. Finish your lunch, dress well, you go to see the boss. What? Who? I don't know. But lucky, good luck for you. Go to see the boss. I met the minister of the police, and he asked me, do you have some desire to explain to me? I said, I asked you liberty, freedom. When? He said, today. Because I am sure today is the feast of the Holy Virgin. I said, today. He is a little bit surprised. I said, you know, I am in prison under 3 pontificates, Paul VI, John Paul I, and John Paul II. So I have been in prison under 3 Paul. It's long. It's mine. And I said, I have been in prison under 4 general secretaries of Soviet Union. You know, I have been in prison since Brezhnev, Chernenko, Andropov, and now Gorbachev. 4 general secretaries. So, his mind had told me, you will be free today. It is the grace of the Holy Virgin. I was taken in prison the day of the Holy Virgin. I was liberated the day of the Holy Virgin. Praise the Lord, and thank you for your attention.
现在我们如果有什么问题，就可以自由表达，可以用中文，我可以帮忙翻译啊，或是可以直接有英文啊，或是法文也可以。So now maybe some of our friends will have a few questions. So I'm sure you would like also to answer our questions about the lecture, or maybe some other topics connected with Archbishop Thuan's work now at this Pontifical Council of Justice and Peace. Dr. Yang.
Thank you. Since nobody has questions, so I think I'd better to say a few words about my impression of this wonderful lecture. Your Excellency, it's really a great pleasure for me to hear your own experience. We learned a lot about faith, about the roles of our life, but your story is a real experience which we have never experienced. And I am really impressed by that. And that I think can give us a lot of inspiration. Still, I have a little question. I don't know if I really understood what you said, but I think you said during a certain time, you just couldn't pray in the present. Could you tell me more clearly why you feel that? Only because of tired or body fatigue or something else? I think this will be also very helpful thing to us. Okay, thank you.
I must answer that when I was in prison, I was so tired physically. When I get out, I lost 22 kilos. 22 kilos. But I thought when I lost 22 kilos, the cholesterol and sugar also disappear. But mentally, I experience the weakness. I can concentrate. Sometimes to say a Hail Mary or Our Father, I can finish. And it is good that I tell you this experience to show that I am not a hero. No, I am weak, and I share with everybody this weakness in the difficulty, and I can do nothing but only by the grace of God that I can overcome. And when I was in the extremity, in the bottom of my weakness, God helped me. God helped me. My grace suffices, like St. Paul said. And thanks to the grace of God, I am what I am today. Only by the grace of God. And always hope in the grace of God. Father, please